Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're Throgg. Come back. Just trying to look at you. Come here. Come here. Look, let's look at Throgg. He's cool. So anyway, we're doing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay, and there's Throgg. Doesn't he look cool? And look, he hasn't even bothered to take these swords out of his back. He's crazy. So cool guy. Cool guy. So this is Norsca against Vampire Counts, and I think Norsca have a great matchup against Vampire Counts. I played a couple of games with Pone. This is the second one. The first one, he tried a classic sort of Death Star build, you know, just stacking corpse cards and necromancers and, you know, heals in a big blob, load of ethereal units. Yeah, I hit him with a final transmutation and basically took half the health off his entire army. I had 134 kills on this guy. It was awesome. So this build, I really like it against Vampire Counts. You know, after a couple of games, it seems to have all the tools you need. So the Familiar Warriors, these guys are basically great anti-large, and also magic damage, which is going to be really good. The armor sundering, hitting any vampire count unit, like any of the infantry, doesn't really have a lot of armor, so it's going to help get value out of anything else you have in that engagement. So that's really good. But the anti-large, these guys will shred the big dangerous monsters. But with the magic attacks, it means I don't have to worry too much about ethereal units, which is pretty great. So that's something that's really limiting for the vampire counts. The fact that the anti-large, which you want against the vampire counts, also negates all your ethereal units, it makes it incredibly hard. You can't really bring any of that stuff. And it also means, because you've got magic covered, you don't really need Flaming Sword of Ruin or anything like that. You can go with metal, which is fun. So you can have more stuff to tank the big single model stuff, or if they Death Star, you can murder everything in one spell. So it's pretty great. So Shaman Sorcerer of Metal, you know, on a horse, it'll be quite hard to catch. It's possible, but you know, he'll be harder to catch. Also, he's got Final Transmutation. Brilliant, and also transmutation of lead. So this is useful against vampire counts generally, because they don't have the best melee attack, you know, for a lot of their sort of fodder. And the fact that I've got a load of glass cannons, it just means I can get a lot more killing done without, you know, taking too much damage in return, which is pretty great. So really like this guy. He's pretty good. He's also got a rage ability, because everyone seems to as Norsca. So my front line is actually made of Marauder Champions, which have got pretty good melee defense. These guys will, and a lot of armor. Well, 80. So these guys will hold out really well against most infantry that they're going to be up against. So they'll really anchor your front line, because that can often be a problem. You know, the Death Star kills all your infantry because you just can't fight that atrocious battle. So these guys will hold out a long time, and the Berserkers will just get a load of damage in. So the Berserkers will just murder all the chaff. They will just cleave straight through zombies and skeletons, and they'll hold out really well against Graveguard. These guys do a fine job. Also got some spearmen on the edges just to back up any sort of cavalry engagement. The Beasts of Tashnar here, I think, are really good. These are a really good pick. Just generally, I think they're really good units. And they look like fluffy evil sheep. Oh, fluffy evil sheep, yay. So these guys are great. They got 50% missile resist, which doesn't help in this matchup in the slightest, but that is a great thing to have on a unit like this, you know. But also, they're immune to psychology, which definitely helps with this matchup. They're also anti-large and ruddy quick, so these guys can be really useful for sort of harassing cav and things like that, especially with the backup of all the javelins throwing, you know, javelins, I suppose, is kind of what they do. Anyway, and spearmen backing them up. So these guys will do great. I think they'd be really useful. So really like those guys. And of course we have Throgg. Now Throgg has some great tools. So massive anti-large, he's got the frostbite, so stuff can't escape him as easily. So if someone is losing an engagement and wants to leave him, they're not going to be able to do that so easily. So that's great, so he can keep the pressure on. With his huge bonus versus large, I think, what is it? It's 28, does a load of armor-piercing damage, so he's going to be great for hunting down dragons and things. That's awesome. Also, he's got Fight or Die, so he can buff everyone's melee attack, so, you know, even the Marauder Champions that are pretty crap in the melee attack sort of area, they'll start hitting quite a lot more, as well as being very defensive. So, really cool. And yeah, he's just very sturdy. Missile resist doesn't help him, obviously. He does have the fire weakness, but then, I mean, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that does a lot of fire damage from vampire counts, so that's fine. Copious Vomit, really good against single targets, and it tends to be the single models that are more dangerous in the vampire counts. But this is the crowning glory. That's right, I made a pun. The Wintertooth Crown makes everything around you unbreakable, and that can be used to great effect against the vampire counts, and we will see that in action. So, Professor Pone here, Manfred von Carstein on the dragon, so big heavy hitter there. He's also got a Terrorgeist, so more anti-large and scary monster. He's also got a Banshee, which against the Vermeer, you'd think she'd just get dumpstered, but actually, without their anti-large bonus, they don't seem to be able to hit her very well. So she can be constantly there, getting damage into everything, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, Banshee, at first I thought was a big mistake, but she seems to do okay. Also, Skeleton Warriors in the front line, just to hold, you know, some of the stuff back. And a load of Graveguard for the anti-infantry, so they can try and cleave through all of mine. He's also got Varix Reavers over here. With their regeneration, they can just harass the back line indefinitely, chase down fleeing units, break the odd ranged unit, and then, you know, keep harassing them. And they can regenerate, so they're great. Really good for hit and runs, because by the time they hit again, they've healed, and that's just great. Love these guys, and I think against, you know, a faction that doesn't have a lot of mass, and its infantry, they're going to do really well. Also, he's got the die pack. These guys are anti-large, but they're small units themselves. Whereas the Beasts of Tashnar are actually... oh no, they're also small units. Oh, I thought these were large units. The Ice Wolves are large units. I thought these were the same. So no, these are small. So Beasts of Tashnar are the die pack, and neither of them will get bonuses against each other. But I will get bonuses against the Varix Reavers with these guys. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to speed things up and see how it goes. So straight away, Spirit Leech on the the Shaman Sorcerer. There we go. So that's really rough. That does a lot of damage. So that's something you do have to watch out for. Here, kind of messed up the attack order here. Everything just went straight for the Banshee, which is a bit silly. You'd think she'd get absolutely melted here under all these Vermeer warriors, but that's just not happening, which is very frustrating. But anyway, so Throgg and all my guys are in the thick of it, trying to get some guys around the edge there. I'm going to get my javelins to throwing javelins, surprisingly, at Manfred von Carstein. That's definitely going to help. So I'm screening this stuff with my Beast of Tashnar and my Spearmen. So I actually did a breath attack on the javelins here, which I'm not sure was totally worthwhile, seeing as how this was such a juicy target for a breath attack. But still, he wants to shut these down, knowing that they do so much work. So he's bogged down with zombies. Here we got a Hounds versus Hounds fight, and mine do actually win out here. So breath attack, just managed to avoid it. But the Shaman is really hurt. So, another Spirit Leech. Oh god. So here I am just going to try and hit him with a final transmutation. That's all I can really do to prevent this, well, to get something out of him. So I was hoping that I'd get both of these guys, but unfortunately I only managed to hit the Terrorgeist. So that's a pity. So there we go. Final transmutation on the Terrorgeist. Varix Reavers coming in. Unfortunately, these guys crumbled and these guys got terrified away at the same time. Actually, they routed, so they broke at the same time, which is very strange. Anyway, it happens. So, my Sorcerer's dead. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. So there he goes, which is a real shame. So I'm having to bring my anti-large units back here, just to deal with all this stuff. So, it has alleviated pressure on the Banshee, so she's been able to heal up. And now this I find amusing. So the horse got away for the Shaman Sorcerer, but you can still hover over him to see there's 0 models in this unit, and the horse is terrified, which I think is quite funny. But the horse got away. So here, got a lot of pressure on Manfred. The javelins are really chewing him up, which is excellent for me. So unfortunately, he has managed to chase off one of my javelin hunters. Here, big breath attack again, you know, hits this stuff. So he wants to shut down these guys so badly. Throgg is here as a, you know, escort, and so are the Vermeer warriors here. Now, this is the sort of tipping point, because at the moment my front line is getting whittled down. You know, he's still got these 2 big monsters, very scary. He's still got all these cav, you know, he's got a lot of power. So here, he's getting a rear charge into this stuff. You can see my leadership is tanking a lot. He's coming in with Manfred as well for another rear attack. These guys will be able to get around the back. Things are looking really bad. So, spit on this guy. Invocation in a Heck, keeping all the stuff going. And look, my leadership is about to break. This is not looking good. This stuff will get terrified soon. So, he comes in here, and Wintertooth Crown. Everything's unbreakable. And Manfred and the Terrorgeist are sandwiched. He was trying to terror bomb me, get all this stuff to rout, which it nearly did. But then the Wintertooth Crown keeps everything going, and now he's completely trapped. He would have just been running through fleeing units to get out of this fight, but now he's running through units that are trying to kill him. So that is massive. So Wintertooth Crown just you know, won this engagement for me in a big way. This was so costly for Professor Pone. So I just love it. So some javelins flying in here. He's crumbling. So the crumbling is going to finish him off. And no, he's not yet. Anyway, so load of damage to Terrorgeist as well, which is just superb. He gets one last breath attack into this huge blob, and now everything is starting to rout. Everything is now starting to flee, which is just abysmal for me. Everything is breaking. This is what would have happened if I didn't have the Wintertooth Crown. All of this stuff would have broken. And look at this. My whole army's gone. And so is Manfred, thank Christ. But anyway, Terrorgeist trying to fight Throgg. You'd think with the anti-large bonus he'd get some damage into him, but Throgg doesn't care. Look at this. He's just wailing him. And actually, look at the size of him. Terrorgeists are not little by any means, but Throgg is gigantic. So that's pretty amazing. So Terrorgeist just getting absolutely dumpstered, and he can't escape. You know, I'm putting his speed down a lot. He's crumbling, just devastating blow there. But all of my stuff is fleeing. He's got the Varix Reavers able to finish things off. I'm trying to keep on him with the Spearmen. Both of my Famir are running away, so his Banshee can't really get hurt by anything. I'm bringing some Haggard units back, but look at all this stuff fleeing. So luckily, my Marauder champions do come back, and he doesn't really have the sort of terror bombing, you know, rear charging flying units anymore, which is great. But he's still got a lot of strength. Luckily, my Famir come back just in time to block some of this charge. So that's great for me. Thank God, because Varix Reavers are going to be painful for all this stuff. So I'm able to kite him around now, because he doesn't have the maneuverability to intercept this stuff. So that's a relief, because look at all this. He's still got so much infantry left. And, yeah, I don't have a huge amount left, honestly. My Famir are all pretty injured. Throgg, though. Throgg has not cared. Like, nothing is stopping him. It is superb. So here as well, Marauder champions coming in. So these guys are going to be hard to kill, at the very least. But here the Banshee is pursuing Throgg. But she's just not able to get much damage into him, surprisingly. Because, I mean, her melee stats aren't terrible. I mean, with the charge bonus of 25, he thinks he would have landed a hit. I mean, 32 melee attack, not brilliant, but Throgg's only got 50 melee defense. So that's not a huge... Actually, no, that means she's got a 10% chance to hit, I think. Okay, pretty poor. Pretty poor. Melee defense, really good stat. Because, yeah, the base chance to hit is only 30%. So, yeah, higher melee defense, it helps you a lot more. Anyway, there is a minimum of 10% though, I think, to hit. So, Varix Reavers getting pretty hurt. You know, I'm managing to sandwich them between the Famir Warriors and the Marauder Javelins. As soon as I chase them off, I'm able to start throwing Javelins at him again. So, this is really tough for him. Over here, these Famir are coming in, trying to deal with a Banshee, but, God, they're just not dying. Luckily, though, I will be armor sundering this stuff, so what little remains I have of those Berserkers should be able to get some damage in. Over here, one unit against Graveguard, you know, against all this stuff, it's not going to work. So, Javelins coming back, they can start throwing Javelins at the Varix Reavers again, but the Famir have got this, honestly. And stuff is starting to crumble, balance of power going more and more in my favour, and army losses should be hitting soon, honestly. He can't hold out here, because Throgg is just taking 0 damage from all this. There's just no killing him. And the Famir, still going, somehow. Almost not, but I think just because they're winning the combat, it's helping a great deal. So you can see the Sternsmen are about to crumble, which is good. You know, Banshee now, critical binding. Varix Reavers are gone, so I've got all these guys to start throwing the missiles in if they want. Another healthy unit for me, well, not healthy, but, you know, a lot of models coming in to replace these ones that just ran away. So, things are looking a bit iffy. So, there we go. Pretty great. Good build, this one. I'm really enjoying it. And like I said, this was the second Vampire Count build I fought. And the first one, Death Star build, does not work. It does not work against Norska. You can just keep throwing javelins into the expensive units, and just a final transmutation with Law and Metal. It is so good, and you don't have to worry about needing to bring fire magic to deal with that stuff. Because, yeah, the Famir got the magic damage covered. Not that it really helps against Banshees all that much, but that Banshee didn't get a lot done. You know, not a huge amount. But she did survive for most of that, which I find is pretty extraordinary. The fact she managed to survive. So that was pretty great. I'm really enjoying this build. As you can see, the Berserkers just cleave through all of the cheap infantry, and the Marauder champions just refuse to die. So that is your front line. You've got defense and offense catered for. You've got the magic damage and huge amount of anti-large. You've got the spearmen for extra anti-large. You've got stuff to screen, and you've got all the Marauder hunters to attack stuff while it's trying to escape you, which is amazing. But the Wintertooth Crown is so good. As soon as it looks like they're trying to terror bomb you, hit that, and they'll end up in a position that they did not want to be in. And I think just that surprise for them is going to be enough, because Vampire Counts, they're going to rely on that terror bombing. You know, get those rear charges in just to break the entire line, cause a chain rout, and then you can just mop stuff up a lot, you know, take out expensive units, chase things off the battlefield, whatever. Wintertooth Crown stops them from able to do that, and it punishes them for trying it, which is just awesome. So, absolutely love it. Throgg is an absolute beast in this matchup. I mean, you saw him take that Terrorgeist apart. It wasn't even fair. Poor Terrorgeist just got completely clobbered. So, pretty cool. So I think Norska are going to be good in this matchup, generally. And, yeah, so have fun with it when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. So guys, obviously early access, so things are subject to change, etc, etc. There's caveats in the description, but yeah, you can get the picture. It's going to be something like this. So yeah, pretty great. So thanks Professor Pone for the matches. God, definitely rough for vampire counts though. So a lot of fun. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day guys.